everyone, it's Reagan and welcome to the start of another reading vlog. So this weekend is like the gloomy big book reading edition. Though I'll say I've really been trying to read only big books for the month of August, but this weekend I'm tackling I think my two longest. But this weekend it's supposed to thunderstorm tonight and all through Saturday, which I'm actually pretty excited about. I need to do a bunch of filming and things on Sunday, so it's really going to be a weekend at home, which honestly so is every weekend, so that doesn't really make it a new thing. But I'm looking forward to snuggling up, reading some books, pretending it's fall, hanging out with my fall decor. Clay and I have some additional fall decor to put up, which I will definitely show you guys. We're also hanging a new shelf tonight, which I'm really jazzed about. But before we go any further, let's chat through the books I hope to finish and start this weekend. So as I said, this is truly the big book reading vlog. First and foremost, I need to read The Black Prism. I'm about 140 pages of this book left, and I've read 30 pages so far today, so all in all when I finish I'll have read 170 pages of this. But this is book 1 to the Lightbringer series. I started rereading this last weekend when I realized I had forgotten everything. All in all, I'm really enjoying this reread. I have flown through this first book. The plot is really fast moving and you do have a lot of character POVs, and so many of which you fall in love with. I would say maybe I will lower it half a star. I had a bit of stars in my eyes for Gavin, I think, in the first time I read this, and while he's definitely very impressive as a character and I love reading about him doing incredible things, he is maybe a little less perfect and maybe more human. And I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing, but I'm rambling. But I'm really in loving this reread quite a bit. And the magic and the politics and everything are just so cool, and I'm really excited to continue to read books 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and all of that. But after I finish this, I'm actually going to start Ship of Magic, which I'm excited about as well. This was on my TBR for the month. I doubt I'll be able to finish this in the last 4 days of the month, but I have the ebook checked out from the library and I would love to get a good chunk of the way through this. This is book 1 for the Live Ship Traders series. I'm not actually sure if you need to read the Farseer trilogy before this, and I also know they're kind of like separate worlds and plots and things, so I don't think there'll be any spoilers for the Farseer trilogy in this book. This, like the name implies, I'm pretty sure is very much set on the sea and in ships, which I'm really, really excited about. But yeah, I have two big books to try to finish and start ahead of the month of September, which I will start reading more spooky fantasy books, or honestly, you know, just more long fantasy and some spooky books thrown in there. But yeah, this is what I hope to read this weekend. I am very, very jazzed. But like I said, I have already read 30 pages of The Black Prism. Just to kind of give a general overview about this book, this is the first book to the Lightbringer trilogy, as I said, and it's a multi-perspective, truly a multi-perspective fantasy story where we follow a variety of different characters who have different political power and control, but everyone is very much interconnected, and seeing the politics kind of play out I think is so fascinating. This book's strongest component I truly think is the pace, and the plot I think is just really entertaining, as well as the magic system is really fascinating, and in general there are just some characters that you really root for. To give you an overview of the characters that you basically follow, first you follow the Prism, who is the most powerful individual literally in terms of the use of magic in this world, which is based on the spectrum of light. Each color in the spectrum has different components and different powers associated with it, and the catch is in this world, the more magic you use, the faster you die. The Prism in this world can use magic without any harm, and he can also use all colors, and he's kind of politically in charge, very much kind of like a figurehead unless they're at war. Gavin, our main character, has been in charge now for 15 years, and there's some unrest kind of happening. He's a very interesting character, dynamic character. He's definitely not perfect. He's definitely one, I think when I read when I was younger, I was like, wow, he's so cool, and he's definitely really cool, but I kind of see through his veneer a bit more reading it on a reread, and I definitely see him more as a flawed character, and I don't know if he's necessarily supposed to be considered flawed, but I view him a little bit flawed, which kind of detracts from him. But other characters in this book are Kip, who is his son born out of wedlock, whom I love so much more within my reread. He is a young man, 15 in this first one. He comes from a very troubled home, and at the beginning of the book his entire town is destroyed. by soldiers who are kind of trying to break away from the Chromia, the central power, and kind of like rebel essentially. Kip is a character you really root for because he is tragically hard on himself. He is his hardest critic. He's constantly making fun of himself, constantly putting himself down, and uses humor at his own expense kind of to deflect what he assumes will be kind of like negative words thrown back at him. And this is definitely a byproduct of the household in which he was raised, where he was, at the end of the day, he's just a young guy just trying to make it through, and now he's like thrown in the middle of all this political shenanigans that he wasn't, you know, had nothing to do with before because of who his father is, and he's just trying to find a place, feel useful, and get kind of some control over his magic. You also follow Karis and Liv, two female characters whom I love so much. One is a spy, one is a super powerful guard. It's such a great story of different POVs, and again, the characters kind of revolve around each other in really interesting ways, and their storylines intersect and are connected in fascinating ways. But yeah, it's been a really fun thing to reread. The pace is breakneck, and I just feel like it's an easy book just to start and fly through. Like, it's a great beginner fantasy novel. And I'm really excited to see how the politics kind of crack open in the rest of the books, because I remember, you know, that they definitely do. And it's just a wild time. So yeah, I really am liking this quite a bit. Can't put it down. And so my plan is to try to hopefully finish it tonight, if not tomorrow, and then jump into the Ship of Magic. Unrelated to books, but exciting, we're gonna hang up this L bracket shelf up on this wall tonight, and I'm also gonna put my fall foliage up there. It's gonna be very cute. Speaking of fall foliage, I also put some fake leaf garland that I got from Michaels up on this mirror. And then I bought this a while ago, but it's like pampas grass and these little pumpkins in this little vase. So, you know, getting in the fall spirit. And then obviously I have my wreath. We have some more stuff coming in, but it's getting very, very cozy in here. Changed into PJs, and not to brag, and my new crew neck, really cool. It just came in today, and I'm about to be the most annoying person on the planet because I'm about to say it's custom. Basically, I saw some non-related bookish merch and then texted Elias and was like word vomiting. I'm like, can you make this logo thing that says this in green? And then I reached out to someone on Etsy who does custom crew neck embroidery, mostly for companies, and they embroidered it and mailed it to me. So it's exciting. I'm very jazzed about my crew neck. So if you see me wearing it all the time, I apologize. I mean, you could definitely make one yourself, like, go for it. Just like Etsy custom embroidered sweatshirt. I think I'm gonna make more because this is great, and I love a crew neck more than anything, as we know. But I'm in PJs, I'm gonna get a cup of coffee. I'm going to put Folklore on by Taylor Swift because of the rain. And I'm gonna read some Black Prism before dinner. Clay should be finishing up work soon, and then we're gonna watch Succession, eat ramen, watch Dragon Ball Z. Happy Friday. Ramen has arrived. That's Inuyasha, but we're about to change over to Succession. Just finished season 1 of Succession, which can only mean one thing. What does that mean, Clay?
Season 2 of Succession.
Is what we're starting now. Reading in bed. Clay's playing Sudoku like an old man. And Matilda has been asleep for all day, just
How
about.
old is she?
She got a new toy today, though, which she brought to bed, of course. But anyway, time to get to it. I did read about 40 pages before we ate dinner. So I've read 70 pages so far today, which I don't think is too bad, but obviously I'm going to try to get more read tonight and finish this guy up and then start the Ship of Magic. Asleep. That's when you're asleep, but you don't want anyone to take your toy. Locked down. Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. Not gonna lie, woke up feeling pretty heavy this morning. But in terms of today, I don't plan on doing much. I'm gonna pretty much be in pajamas all day, and I am about to start reading, so I'm excited to do that. Before I do, I did want to mention just a few links I'm gonna have down in the description. One is a link to check if you're registered to vote if you live in the United States. Really fast, really easy. Just click the link, you can figure out what you need to do for your own state. And then I'm also gonna have a few charity links down below if you wanna click them and learn a bit more. So just wanted to mention those. I stayed up pretty late last night reading. I think I'm gonna make a cup of coffee, make a pot of coffee actually, and then I'll kind of get settled in the day and I'll check back in and let you know kind of general reading progress. But I'm gonna take a beat for myself, and I will check back in a little bit. I wanted to let you guys know that I bought Matilda an Akatsuki dog hoodie. I could not help myself, so that's where we're at, and I'm really excited about it. Truly relishing in this gloomy day, but just made a pot of coffee, and I'm gonna sit down now. I don't know why it always become blue. I'm gonna sit down and read. So I'm gonna finish The Black Prism this morning, and then I will pop in and do my overview and final thoughts for the first book in the series. But overall, I'm really enjoying it. It's been a really nice thing to reread, and in general, I don't think my rating's gonna change, and if it does, maybe like half a star, but it's been a really good time and so fast paced. But anyway, I'm gonna set you up, I'm gonna do some reading, and I will check back in. Just like that, I have finished The Black Prism by Brent Weeks. How much have I read? I need to figure that out actually, so give me a second. All right, if I'm remembering correctly from where I started, I've read 170 pages so far this weekend, but I have to say this was such a joy to reread. I really enjoyed the experience from beginning to end, and just being reintroduced to this world was a lot of fun. I feel like a bit of a broken record, and when I keep saying the magic system, so interesting, the light-centered magic, really cool, and then obviously the political conflict that's presented in this book is already beginning to escalate, and as I sort of remember through the rest of the series will continue to do so, which I think is interesting. I feel like this book was a strong introduction to the world. I feel like it really communicated the magic, the political structure, and everything, and I enjoy the multi-POV because I think it allowed us to kind of shift all over the place and also kind of experience things from different political power levels and experience power levels and all of those things. I think I would probably give this book a 4.5. I really enjoyed it. I especially enjoyed reading from the perspectives of Kip and Liv. I also felt like from a reread perspective, this was a really interesting story, given that I have some context kind of to read through some things. I'm really looking forward to the second book, which I think is one of my favorites if I'm recalling correctly, and seeing Kip kind of come more into his own power and just kind of seeing him grow and get more confidence is like what I'm really looking for here. Gavin as a character I think is a very fascinating case. He's very, very capable, but a flawed man, and I don't know if this book necessarily is trying to present him as super flawed. He's still very rootable, but I definitely see some elements that I think can, you know, are a little like sus, if you know what I mean. Generally speaking though, kind of being dropped into this world of the Chromia with all these characters and the politics was an enjoyable ride. So fast-paced, action, adventure, all of it. And I'm excited to see how it expands through the next book. I felt like this is a strong introduction, and I'd give it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Would still highly recommend. I think also a great place to start with beginner fantasy. I'm going to actually keep reading this morning. Clay is out getting a haircut right now, so I'm just chilling. So I'm going to start The Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb. As I promised, it's going to be a big book kind of weekend. I'm really looking forward to this. I think this is multi-perspective, which Clay just got home actually, which is a bit of depart from the Farseer trilogy, which I'm looking forward to, and I'm just excited to see more of Robin Hobb's worlds and writing. I feel like she just crafts really dynamic and fascinating characters, and I just love them a lot, or hate them, just depending who they are. But yeah, I'm gonna start this morning, and I'm excited. Wouldn't be Saturday without a bagel run, and we're about to watch some Dragon Ball Z Kai. Clay requested some DVDs for his birthday because you can't find it online or like through a subscription or even a cable to watch, so we bought the Blu-ray DVDs of Dragon Ball Z, and that is what we're watching today. All right, taking a quick pause from Dragon Ball Z watching to hang up this shelf, which I'm very excited about. I'm gonna put a record on and hang her up. We'll keep you posted in our progress. Will we get our deposit back? Shelf is hung up. We made it a little, I'll sit down, off center because we have this picture here. I think it looks nice. I put some little fake foliage on it. We're gonna get a little plant and I have a little pumpkin that's gonna go on top that lights up. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased. I think it's cute. And just kind of adds a little more spice to our space, you know? So yeah, that's that. I'm now gonna sit down and do some reading with Matilda. Clay's playing some Call of Duty, and then we're going to, I guess, get back to Dragon Ball Z. Maybe pick up a plant. A wild Saturday. Hi friends, just wanted to pop in and chat through a few more thoughts re The Black Prison before I move on to my next book of the vlog. So obviously I've been doing a lot of gushing about this book, but I did want to quickly flag a few things. First and foremost, given this is a reread for me and a reread of a series I enjoyed a lot from when I was younger, I did want to call that some of my perspective might be clouded by nostalgia and just the fun of rereading a series that I loved so much you know, in my teens and early 20s. So I just wanted to shout that out. A few other things I wanted to mention too is one, there is some male gaze within this series. For me, it didn't really impact or impede the story, but I did want to call out that for me there was a few lines that this definitely was present, and I know for some other readers it was a lot more impactful to their reading experience. So just wanted to acknowledge that, and also just, if you're interested in that, just kind of know that going in. And the second thing I wanted to bring up in this book is there is a lot of weight shaming within this novel, always from the perspective of Kip, who is shaming himself. And for me, when I read this, I feel like it's coming from a place of Kip grew up in a mentally and physically at times abusive household, and he was raised to be told that he is worthless, he's nothing, everything about him is terrible, and he's obviously internalized this. And throughout the series you see him constantly put himself down and like voice making fun of himself because he's in situations where he feels like someone is going to say something to him, so he then decides to say the thing that he assumes someone is thinking about him, which might not even be true, but he just like immediately voices it and makes fun of himself, and it's very uncomfortable. Obviously this is a very flawed point of view because Kip is actually a super capable character, and throughout the entire series you see him do really incredible things and you root for him, but he's also so hard on himself, and he's constantly putting himself down and even others down through his own flawed POV of himself and how he views that he is viewed from the outside in, if that makes sense. That being said, it's definitely very prevalent, especially within Kip's POV. So it's just something I wanted to flag because obviously it's a super problematic viewpoint that I'm hoping Kip works through, as I have a foggy memory, but I feel like he definitely becomes more confident in himself. But in the first book especially, he is very hard on himself and often comments about his weight. But it's something I wanted to flag to any prospective readers out there because I know both of those things can be triggering, so I just wanted to reference it. Hi everyone, I've just been reading. I have read 50 pages of Ship of Magic, and so far I'm really liking this book. It's interesting to compare this to Robin Hobb's first book I read, The Assassin's Apprentice, because I can already kind of see how she's improved writing-wise and everything, because I feel like how this book has just pulled me in immediately is awesome. It's also, so far I've encountered two different perspectives, well actually three. A serpent's perspective, a pirate's perspective, and like a priest in training, which I think is going to be really cool because we were really focused on Fitz in the Farseer trilogy, but having multi-POVs of this world I think is going to be awesome. I also am not really sure how this is connected in any way to the Farseer trilogy. I honestly imagine you could technically read this without reading that, at least so far. I was right to assume it was going to be about ships and pirates and all of that. One of our primary POVs. The first chapter was so fascinating. It opened on this pirate who's obviously not a good guy, like going on this shore to get a prophecy, and like he's walking along this beach finding these sort of like bizarre items that sort of speak to the prophecy, and there's already hints of magic. This already feels a little bit more magical, and the magic itself is very, at least how it's appearing, different than the Farseer trilogy, which was very like mental based magic. So far there's things like references to things like charms and spells and stuff like that, which is really cool. But so far this has really hooked me. The writing is great. I love that it's multi-POV. I love that it's going to be having to do with pirates. Literally the guy is like, I'm going to become a pirate king. I'm like, One Piece? No, but really, but really, I'm liking it a lot. The chapters are so long. I've literally read like one chapter and some change. There's also these sort of like serpents, which are cool. I don't really know how those fit in yet. And I'm really curious to see kind of where this fits in with everything. But so far, I'm really hooked. I'm a sucker for a multi-POV story. I'm really hoping I like this too because of the pirate component. I always like want to love pirate stories, but usually I haven't found like favorites. But yeah, I am pretty hooked so far. So I'm gonna just keep reading along. I've read over 200 pages so far this Saturday. I think I'm gonna make some fresh coffee. The rain missed us. It's like half sunny right now and it's just a pure, I'm very upset about it, but you know, whatever. But yeah, just gonna keep reading. I think Clay's still playing Call of Duty, but we're gonna watch some Dragon Ball Z soon, and I think we're gonna get takeout Italian tonight, which I am very jazzed about. But anywho, just wanted to give you guys an update. And I'll look up if you can read the Life Ship trilogy without reading the Farseer. Nothing I've read is gonna spoil anything about the Farseer trilogy, so don't be worried about that. And obviously I wouldn't reference anything like that regardless. This is truly like first book to a series situation. But anyway, back to reading. Taking a break from reading, and I'm actually going to paint my nails this little sunshine yellow color, and we are watching Dragon Ball Z. I think we're on episode like 15 of Dragon Ball Z, Kai? 14? You know.
All out Kamehameha. Vegeta's terrible transformation.
That's actually pretty good. All right, well, we're gonna get started. All right, and we're interrupting our Dragon Ball Z marathon because we have decided to go to our local butcher, like Italian butcher, and get stuff to make a cheese plate. Just had a wild hair, you know, something that we would get at a restaurant. We figured we would attempt at home. Some mozz, some prosciutto, some olives, some sharp pecorino. So yeah, we're gonna go acquire those things, and then I think I'll do a bit of a fall tour for you guys. Maybe tomorrow, because it's getting dark now, but my fall decorations are up and I'm living. Here's our haul. We got the prosciutto, we got the salami, the pecorino, no, this is Parmesan, this cheese, I don't even know what it is, Montetorinano. I got a pound of pitted Castrovetrano olives because they're my favorite. And then the largest fresh mozzarella ball, which we'll cut in half and eat with the prosciutto and the salami. Gonna be so good. This simply might be one of the most decadently delicious cheese plates I've ever constructed. I got the prosciutto di Parma, some salami, Castrovetranos. This cheese, 24 each month Parmesan. Just incredible stuff. Fresh mozzarella with, I put some olive oil on top. I cry. This is beautiful. I'm so sorry, Matilda, I would share, but it's really only for me and Clay. The rest of our Italian feast has arrived. Delicious. And we're almost done with box set 1 of Dragon Ball Z, which goes up to episode 26. So we have like 3 episodes left, which is very exciting. I'm actually liking it a lot more. I'll flip you around. Dragon Ball Z kind of surprised me a bit. I feel like it definitely starts out pretty like rudimentary. I've never seen Dragon Ball Z before. It's one of Clay's favorite shows growing up, and I basically promised to watch it if you watch Naruto, so here we are. But I'm actually liking it. I think it kind of starts really fast, and I think because I didn't see Dragon Ball, I didn't really have some character background, but kind of once you get through like the first fight sequence, and now they're kind of traveling through space, it's really growing on me. And I really like Bulma, and I like Gohan a lot too. Goku is kind of like Naruto, but like even like, I don't want to use the word worse, but like Naruto's goofy and kind of dumb, and Goku is also goofy and very dumb, which it can be very funny. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely growing on me. It's a very easy and fast watch. Almost seen 26 episodes, so we're flying through it. We're having a bit of a shonen moment. I think we're gonna start either Bleach or Hunter x Hunter. I've seen Bleach and most of Hunter x Hunter, but they're finishing Bleach next year, and I figured that would be fun to watch together. And then obviously Hunter x Hunter is just amazing, and I would love to finish it, but I want to start it over from the beginning. rambling now, but yeah. Eat this pasta, watch Dragon Ball Z. Hello world, we have watched so much Dragon Ball Z tonight. We are almost done with our first box set, which is 26 episodes, which means I think we probably watched around 15 today. I'm actually, like I said in the last clip, getting really into it. It's a lot of fun, and once you kind of get rooted in the world and like know the characters better, it just becomes overall more enjoyable. But now it is late and I am going to do a bit of reading. I did pass the 50-page mark of this book, which I think I already chatted about, and already there are more perspectives to be had within this story. I'm in the midst of the second chapter right now, but from what I can tell, and I don't know if this book is going to stop at 4 perspectives or we're going to get more and more characters, but I'm just truly entranced by the writing style and the structure of the story. It really is different than the Farseer trilogy, which I find to be very intriguing. But generally speaking, there are 4 perspectives, and right now everyone is centered around seafaring, sea travel, sea commerce in some capacity. We have the pirate, as I mentioned, a young priest who's about to venture on a ship. We have a woman who is the daughter of a recently retired sea captain, and she's dealing with like the new captain being a total jerk who's like her brother-in-law, and kind of dealing with that conflict. I'm not very far in her point of view. And then there's also a demoted first mate also on the same boat since the brother-in-law took over, who we have his perspective as well. So yeah, I'm just very in the early stages of this book. I'm going to do a bit more reading tonight and then obviously read a lot more tomorrow, but I have read over 200 pages so far this weekend, which I think is great. And if I can read like another 50 or so pages tonight, I will be very, very pleased with that. But yeah, I'm gonna get to reading. Just wanted to give you guys an update. Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. I have just been up doing some reading of The Ship of Magic, and I'm gonna continue to do that, and I'll check in and give you guys a bit of a reading update, and then I'm actually going to film and then do more reading. You know how it goes. It's Sunday. Hello, it's me. I'm very dressed right now. I'm actually gonna change into something a little more comfortable, but I was filming and I really like this blouse, so I wanted to show it off before I changed back into you know, Sunday pajama equivalent. But I wanted to check in because I have done, I don't know where I put it, more reading of The Ship of Magic, and I've now passed the 100-page mark, and I'm really liking this book so much, and it's so interesting to contrast to the Farseer trilogy, only in its like scope, because more perspectives have been introduced in this story, and it just like now we're basically encountering this world, this town, this trade of piracy and literal merchant trading, as well as port cities from all these different angles and POVs, and everyone is connected in some sort of capacity. I'm not totally sure in its entirety yet, obviously, because I've only read about 150 pages, but like I already feel like we have this huge bird's eye view of this world, and it's just a very different approach than the very insular setting of the Farseer trilogy. It was very intimate, which I also enjoyed so much. Following Fitz from childhood to adulthood was again like very intimate, and you grew very close to him and the characters directly surrounding him. But the setup in my interpretation so far of the Ship of Magic and the trilogy is going to be much more expansive. We're going to be doing so much more traveling, we're going to see so many more things, and we're going to view it from very different people coming from different places, and I'm so excited. It's just like a different approach. And so also the thing I would say is Robin Hobb's writing has just progressively gotten better. I felt engaged within the story from page 1 versus I would say like the Assassin's Apprentice book 1 of the Farseer trilogy was definitely a bit slow to me initially, and like I enjoyed it, but ultimately I gave the first one like a 3.5 stars, and each book progressively got better. But I would just say the level of engagement I already feel with this story and these characters, and we're just shifting back and forth, is at such a high place already. All this to just simply say I'm really excited. I love Robin Hobb. I'm so happy I started this whole journey, and really like if you're interested in the Life Ship Trader trilogy and don't particularly want to read the Farseer, though I would definitely recommend. I don't think you need one to read the other. I think they're connected, but I could be wrong, so maybe anyone let me know if I'm wrong here. But I don't know, I'm loving it so much, and yay, fantasy is the best. I just love experiencing all these different worlds and being transported to places. But Anyway, I'm going to pour myself another cup of coffee, maybe watch some Inuyasha, and then I'm going to do more reading. We've located some breakfast tacos in the neighborhood, which is a very big deal. I won't lie to you. So we're excited to see. Hi world, so I've just been eating a baguette. I basically ate the whole thing, it was amazing. And watching the season finale of The Challenge, which I realized I had never finished this past season, which was great. But now I'm going to sit right there and read more Ship of Magic. So I think I already mentioned I'm like 150 pages in. So my goal, obviously, I think is to read at least another 150 pages today. To try to get about 500 pages read for the weekend, which I'll be really, really pleased with. So I'm going to walk over to our little vinyl section. And I think I'm going to keep listening to the, ooh, you can't even see me. I think I'm going to keep listening to the Notes on Conditional Form, the new 1975 album, on vinyl, and sit on the couch and just enjoy this Sunday. It's actually really nice outside for August. It's like 72 degrees. So maybe I'll take a walk, but TBD on that. Maybe I'll get a walk to get some ice cream. Sweeten the deal a little bit. But anyway, I'm gonna pour myself a cup of coffee, try not to fall asleep, and do some reading. Just having the laziest Sunday per usual. Target order came in and it included this pumpkin LED candle. It's like wax and it flickers. And it's the best $10 I've spent in a while. We're gonna put it on the new shelf, which by the way, you wouldn't know, but I reorganized this entire section like 5 different times last night because I realized that we put the shelf too high. I moved all this over there, shifted this over, shifted it back. And then I realized kind of putting something underneath it will help the weight. Hopefully you guys don't roast me too much because I'll never be able to stop thinking about it. So I'm just trying to pretend like I'm good with all of this. But it's fall. Yasha's on and it is max cozy in here. Max cozy. But I'm actually going to make dinner now. It is dinner time and I'm gonna make a quick coconut chicken, like yellow curry with some like kale and stuff in it. Should be good. Eat it with rice, and then Clay and I are back to Dragon Ball Z. We've watched so much Dragon Ball Z this weekend and it's been so much fun. I'm officially very into the show and it's very entertaining. It gives me like similar vibes of like Inuyasha. It kind of reminds me of childhood, even though I didn't watch it in my childhood, but it reminds me. It's also way more violent than I was expecting. Like, these villains are ruthless in Dragon Ball Z. Oh my gosh. They're on Piccolo's like home planet right now. And I'm like, this is, if I saw this as a kid, it would have traumatized me. But anyway, I'm gonna start dinner. I am putting carrots and kale in this curry because, I don't know, it sounded good. So that's what we're doing in chicken. Step 1, I'm cooking the carrots. I've been cooking the carrots for like 5 minutes and the kale down. And I'll cook the chicken and combine, and then obviously I have rice on too. Currently cooking the chicken in a mixture of curry powder, paprika, tomato paste, and some red pepper flakes. And soon I'm gonna actually make the actual curry part. Should be really good. Also, this is so fast. Love a fast Sunday night dinner. A bon appetit. Time to chow down. Hi friends, I have been watching so much Dragon Ball Z with dinner and beyond. We are well into the Namekian arc. And a squad of 5 individuals showed up, and for some reason one of them was Australian. Not sure, but I'm very into it. But I am actually now about to start reading again. I've passed over the 200-page mark of the Ship of Magic, and I really only have very positive things to say about this. I'm just so entranced by the whole thing. Usually, sometimes I find when I read books that are centered on ships, I get bored because there's all this like ship talk. But I feel like there is a lot of ship talk in this series, but it's done in a way that just like shows me that everyone knows what they're doing, and it's kind of really interesting versus me just being like aft, starboard, rigging. Another thing that's really cool is the magic is very different in this book, and it's a lot to do with like the enchantment of things and places, from like little artifacts sometimes people wear to even ships themselves. So like part of this is there are live ships which are quickened, which are built with a certain type of wizard wood, and then through like certain situations they can become alive, like literally. And part of this book and part of the characters are sending around a live ship that's about to be quickened, which is so cool. Like, it's a ship that's alive. Like, I didn't know I needed that until I encountered it. So yes, this is just truly, to its name, a ship of magic, because the ship is alive with magic. And I don't know, guys, it's just so good so far, and I'm really, really liking it. So I'm gonna keep on reading. I'm gonna try to get to page 300, as I am midway through, or just past the 200 page mark, so I don't think that should be too impossible tonight. I just gotta stop watching Dragon Ball Z and accomplish it. So yeah, just thought I would check in and give you guys an update. Hi everyone, and welcome to the end of the vlog. Really not the next day, I completely forgot to end this vlog, but I wanted to chat about the books I was able to read this weekend. First, quickly touching on, I read the last 170 pages of The Black Prism by Brent Weeks. Already talked about this book a lot, but really enjoying this reread. But I really want to talk about Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb. I'm much farther now at the end of this clip. I am on page 600. But at the point of this vlog, I had read just under 300 pages, and I am literally obsessed with this book. It is incredible. It is very dark, heartbreaking. It's not a happy book by any means. I don't want to go too long on a tangent because I'm going to be including this in a future reading vlog, and I'll talk more about my in-depth thoughts, but I think this is one of the best fantasy books I've ever read so far anyway. But yeah, I read just under 300 pages. This book is very much multi-perspective. I think there's about 8 or 9 perspectives I've encountered so far. And as I mentioned throughout this video, it centers around trading and piracy, and as well as this trading town and surrounding areas. It's very expansive in its scope, and to confirm, you don't actually need to read the Farseer trilogy before you read this. You can read this or the Farseer trilogy first, but the later series are all connected. And I do actually believe there's a character that shows up in this book from the Farseer trilogy, which is very interesting. But in theory, you could read this, then read the Farseer trilogy, either or in terms of like first order. But yeah, I am loving this. I can't wait to finish it and talk about it more. But all in all, for this vlog, I did read just under 500 pages, lots of big books. I love a big book. It was a great time. But Ship of Magic is not messing around. This book will make you want to cry all the time. Lots of pain on these pages, but boy is it good. Robin Hobb and her characters, next level. Humanity. Ooh, it's so good, guys. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog, and I will see you soon with another video soon. Bye!